Yo, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. I am Army Piper. This is the Piper Academy Network. We got an interesting morning going today. We did get the market open. Market started to pump, had a little pullback, but we're holding steady on some support right now. Guys, Ethereum is at $4,600. Bitcoin at 121, getting ready to hit 122,000. Are we about to see a new all-time high come in? And also, what is September looking like, guys? We're going to talk about that. As the thumbnail said, 25% dump. That is possible, and why that would happen in September. We're going to break it all down, explain it all to you, and why it kind of needs to happen to set up for the last leg of the Euphoria pump. All that and a whole lot more today on the Piper Academy Morning Market Report. Guys, let's go ahead and do it. You know what time it is. Take your seats, get your notebooks out. Class is in session. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. I appreciate everyone being here. Guys, let's go ahead and bring the co-host up because it's going to take me a while to break all this stuff down. We got to go through a couple of steps to get to the so what today. So let's go ahead and bring my co-host up. OC Guy, what is going on, dude? How are you feeling about the markets right now? Bitcoin's on a tear. It's on a pump. What are you thinking?
Well, I mean, the markets are just kind of behaving a little bit crazy at this point. They're hitting a couple of overextension points for my taste, and I'm gonna be looking for maybe some shorts. I'm not gonna be forcing it, but I absolutely gonna be trying to test the waters for some shorts. Like for example, Solana. I'm already gonna be just calling out the trade. I still had a 25% entry out of what was it? I believe from Monday. And I'm just gonna go be calling out that trade. And another one that I've been looking into is, for example, Fartcoin. Yesterday we called out the trade. Is still moving a little bit farther to the upside, but I mean, I have another alert at 1.22 that I might be engaging for a little short. But I think this team might be running out. But we'll see. I don't
I
know.
think I
Markets
I
can
think we have at
stay.
least another week of pumping. Just so you know, I think we do.
Really?
I
Oh,
do. I do.
I mean,
Absolutely.
and yeah, and I mean, the markets can stay irrational depending on my point of view, of course, that more than my wallet can stay afloat, right?
There you go. I'm going to explain all of that stuff today. Let's go ahead though, and let's go jump over and talk to the beautiful alumni joining us here this morning. Let's just go back to the top. Start at the top here and just break it down. This morning we had username popping in first. Username, I can't get him to come up there on top, but he said, "I want Piper's hat." Which hat, bro? I got a wall of hats, so you got to tell me which one. And then Alexandra G coming in here this morning, the mod queen. Thank you, lovely lady, for always being here. Crypto Coin Mindset, we're redirecting over to Keith this morning, checking out him and T.I. Joe. Shout out to Crypto Coin Mindset joining us here. BC Port Corp, he's dropping his little nuggets of wisdom every single morning in our Discord, and I like those things. I go and read them all the time. So Robert Mulligan, he had a question. He said, I don't understand. He said, I'm just curious why we're not thinking that there will be an altcoin run. I think the top 10 coins would pull the most money if you didn't know nothing about crypto. I no, I don't. So I think there will be an altcoin season run, but I don't think it's going to be the entire altcoin market. That's what I think. So the reason for that is it's just simple mathematics of how many tokens there are and how much liquidity it would take to have an entire tide raise up in the altcoin market. I do think you'll have waves of clusters, and obviously your top tokens will move. But when you look at the total three, we're almost at an all-time low right now, which is insane because we're in the middle of a bull market. So it's not looking good there on the alt side. Of course, the other day, A to Ace dropped a chart in our Discord on World Mobile Token, and it was an absolute tear up. And then I pulled the chart looking at the daily and daily and the weeklies, and said, yeah, but we're 500% away from the all time high. and we're 300% away from where we were at in December. So yeah, nice pump, but zoom out and it's you're at the very bottom of this run. So yeah, you could see some alt action take place, Robert. But I think that the amount of liquidity that would take to move the entire market is just not. It's not present. It doesn't exist right now. And then top that off, the sheer number of tokens that exist just make it more difficult now than what it used to be. But yeah, there will be some of those other tokens out there that your links, your ADAs, your Ethereums, your Solanas, your XRPs, your main tokens will get some movements. But I think the rest of them, it's going to be like closing your eyes and throwing a dart, hoping you can hit a balloon in a dark room, right? It's going to be really difficult beyond the main ones. So, who else we got in here? We got Harp in here. JR is in here with us. Prakoshi No Dinero, Shemitris. How you doing there? Howdy back. Um, what else? Chris writes, good morning from beautiful Lexington, Kentucky, horse capital of the world. I'm from Indianapolis. I've been to Lexington a couple of times. So, and then of course, Lunar Beaches Crypto dropping his icon in there. Awesome, guys. Appreciate everyone being here. You guys are awesome, and we're going to get you guys some info. So let's go ahead and jump over there first and take a look at where this Bitcoin chart is at. I see BC Port Corp dropping the rib chat, and Alexandra G, she threw some pie bears in there. I love the new pie bear. The Piper bear is awesome. OC, how are we looking on that Bitcoin chart right now? If you pull a fib, by the way, just so you're tracking, if you pull a fib from the high that we had on July 14th to the low that we had on August 2nd, we are right now trying to break the 887, the level I talked about yesterday. So maybe you can show that too. But yeah, let's go ahead and bring up your chart and see where we're at with Bitcoin right now.
Perfect. So yesterday we were looking at this retracement that we were expecting. I was mentioning that I was not going to be taking this trade right away because that was a very dangerous trade, and that is because we were looking at two different scenarios in here. Sorry about that. And well, the first scenario was, and let me just bring this up back in here, that we had a shorty here that we were following up onto, and then well we were into a flat range. If that was the flat range, well then our target would be somewhere around 116 600 667 ish. What that's what around the ballpark where our dynamic reactor is at, right? Or somewhere around 15 15 what is it 1878. It did not actually play out that way, right? Because they played out, or it seems like the second setup it's playing out. The second setup, it is where our range was not flat and let me just get rid of that many spaghetti. I think we're just overloaded. There we go. The second scenario played out where our range was down ranging, right? So if we were very picky around these areas, well, we can draw a downwards movement, a trend line right here with basically creating a downwards range. In that case, the breakout retest was basically right there, but we could still, remember, come downwards to 16 or 15K. So just give it some time. Will actually be I will be willing to give it some time. So what was the setup here? It was waiting for the bouncing here, coming back up, and well then at that point we were looking for that next move or next leg up in here. So both our flip of the ribbon in here and our next leg up in here on our linear regression oscillator.
OC, you're going robotic on your voice there, bro.
Oh, I don't know what's going on.
I think you're
Is
good
it
now.
fixed?
You're good now.
All right. Perfect. So on our linear regression oscillator, it did not play out the U-shaped forming here, but on our traditional oscillator, we did have that flip of the ribbon. So our entry was somewhere around the next back down in here. Just so you guys are up to date, I was not able to take this trade, and that is because I was distracted trading some other stuff, which by the way was Filecoin. But other than that, missed up on that entry too bad for me. Still gonna be looking for maybe that will be basically in a couple of hours. The break of structure. Something important about the break of structure, it is that I could actually be buying the top. All right. Why? Because when I break and make the continuation pattern here, well, then if I long right here, well, what gives and this rolls back down and comes back to this area, well, then I will be buying the top. For that, when you open up your long position on a VOS, you're going to be looking for your previous candle low like this, or just adding something like a stop loss that you should be respecting. So for me, this is what I'm going to be going for if I'm able to get that U form right here and come back up with strength, because that strength, it's coming up like this. So let's see how that plays out. I have faith that we could be breaking out on Bitcoin, and well, we'll see how far does that take us.
Awesome. Shout out to Precocino Dinero. Shout out to French Toast. Just appreciate you guys being here. And shout out to that ticker that they're finally loaded. Okay, let's go ahead and jump over into the news, guys. Break this down because we got to come back and talk about historics on Bitcoin and why I'm looking for a pullback. I know it said 25%. That's the lows that we've had on pullbacks. I actually think it's only like about 10 to 15%, guys. So it might be a small window of opportunity. Anyone looking to load up on that last run. Let's go jump over into the news, though, and break that down right now. Looking here at the news on the metrics, guys, $4.132 trillion is the crypto market cap right now. Trend on that is at 4.19. We're only, look, 1.57% undervalued on the total crypto market cap. So Bitcoin closing that gap along with Ethereum right now. Looking at the Bitcoin wristbands, folks, we're at 57% right now. We have about 0.03% here, and we will be in a 1x DCA, meaning your weekly DCA, that's your DCA, because we are seeing that we're getting close to, so remember, 70% we take profit. We're getting close to 60%. That means that whole period, you're only going to do a 1x DCA on the Piper plan for DCA. And guys, look at Bitcoin dominance right now. Bitcoin dominance with stable coins included is at 58.89%, just under 59%. Without stable coins, it is at 62.93. Still holding pretty decent, in my opinion, above that 60% mark when you take away the stable coin dominance. So let's look at the fear and greed index. Let's get rid of you because you are non-existent. Thank you. Looking at the fear and greed index, we're at 73, sitting in greed, about 3 points off from extreme fear, extreme greed, I should say. Looking here also, I think that's it on X marks the spot today. Cool. Let's keep moving. Looking at total liquidations in the past 24 hours, you can see there, it's past 24 hours, 110,911 traders got liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at $537.95 million, guys. Over $500 million was liquidated in the past 24 hours. Why? Most of them, because people were trying to short Ethereum, guys. And OC and I actually talked about this the other day with the chart hackers, and someone said, when are we going to short Ethereum? And OC and I both at the same time said, I wouldn't short Ethereum right now. You're playing a dangerous game, and that has proven to be true. In the past 24 hours, though, the largest liquidation happened on Bitcoin. It was on Bybit with the Bitcoin trade for $10 million even. Let's go take a look at the current stock market. Put this on the open market. Thank you. There we go. And then give it a little refresh so we can make sure we have the newest data in here. There we go. Dow Jones currently up about 0.9%. The S&P is up about 0.36, and the NASDAQ up just over 0.25% right now, holding pretty decent. Look at the Russell 2K, though, up 0.7%, almost 0.8 on the small caps, and the volatility index is just chill, totally chill. So Europe markets last night, they were all green. All in the green on the Europe markets. Asia was all green except for the ASX 200. Look at the bonds. 10-year yield is pulling back again. It's back down to that 4.24%. So nice to see that. We did get 30-year mortgage rates come in today, so we'll look at that in a second, guys. Oil and Brent is red today. Natural gas, RBOB is in nat gas, both green. And then looking at gold, gold is trying to make a rally, but again, back above $3,400. Silver's at $38.50, up 1.5% today. Copper about neutral, flat, and platinum and palladium both in the red today. Palladium down 0.12, platinum down 0.44. Let's look at altcoin season index. Guys, what is this? We went from 39 to 51 overnight. We are seeing some move in the altcoin sector right now. But remember, alt season will not start for about another 20 points on this index. 71 to 75 is what we want to see come in. And that will be a sustained run of altcoin season. That's what we are at right now. It's 51 on the altcoin index. Looking at the bull market top peak indicators, we have hit 0 of 30 of them. None of them have hit as of yet. Dominance still being the top one that we're watching. Let's go jump over into our bubbles here and take a look. Bitcoin is up 2.3% on the daily right now, sitting at just under $122,000. Ethereum is up 5.8%. Other big movers today, guys. We have 12% move on Solana. Dogecoin is up 7.7%. We've got Cardano up 9.2%. That coffee was really good. Chainlink is only up a mere 3%, but it's had a really good rally the last couple of days, slowing down on its run. What else do we have here? SWI is up 5.4. Bitcoin Cash is up 6.1. And then we'll round it out there with Litecoin. Number 19 is a big mover, up 8% at $131. Toncoin wrapping out your top 20 today, guys. Economic calendar. Look, check it out. 30-year fixed rate mortgage. Went from 6.77 to 6.67. Slight drop there on that, and that will make home buyers very happy. It's not quite where they wanted at. I think we'll start to see homes moving much quicker once we get down closer to that 5% rate, especially with the new homes because they buy so many mortgages at once. They have a little bit lower rates than your resales, previously owned homes that are on the market. So those would be getting down to that 4% range, 4.5, stuff like that. So that's what we're seeing there today. A lot of Fed speakers. That's pretty much all. Tomorrow, guys, we're going to get PPI tomorrow morning, 7:30 my time, 8:30 a.m. on the East Coast. That is an hour before the market open. We're going to get that producer price inflation. And as of right now, it is expected to go up. So this translates to down the road. They cost them more to make it. They raise the prices, inflation for the consumer down the road. So but yeah, tomorrow morning, PPI, and Friday, we're going to get retail sales coming in. Nothing today. Pretty quiet overall. Guys, 100% chance of, excuse me, this changed since this morning. It's now a 99.9% chance of a rate cut in September. Take a look at October, 100%. 100% chance right there. No change, 0%, 100% chance. And we're actually, check it out, 29.5% chance in October now of a 25 basis point, 70% chance of a 50 basis point rate cut in October. September, again, we are seeing a 99.9% chance of a 25 basis point rate cut. Or is that? No, that would be currently we're here. Yeah, it would be a 25 basis point rate cut. So, okay, cool. That's what we're seeing right now for for September. And then looking at December, we are looking again at 100% chance. So rate cuts are coming. I just want to remind you guys, historically, when we start to get our rate cuts after sustained periods of going up, we do have recessionary fears come in. So rate cut, recession, rate cut, recession, rate cut, recession. So keep that in mind. It's not all butterflies and rainbows. There is this whole recessionary, even if it doesn't happen, the fear will be there and the markets will act accordingly on that. So recessions do happen quite often after we go into our rate cut season. And we're seeing that happening now with the rate cut season coming upon us. So let's go check out the crypto liquidation max pain charts. What is the max pain for Bitcoin right now? Well, if you're in a short, The max paying price that's going to hurt the most short traders is $123,063. We're 1% away from that right now. Taking a look at the long max pain, if you're in long trades, the level that would give the most liquidation pain to long traders right now, we're 3.31% away from that. It's at 117.7K. Our liquidation heat map, refresh that real fast, make sure that we got the most recent on that. And you will see where those levels that we just talked about on the heat map. It's coming in down here about 117.7. We do have a really hot heat map sitting at about 114. Not overly concerned with that, but you can see once we get into this range up here, there's about $1 billion that runs all the way up into $124,000, and that would be a new all-time high. So let's talk about the Bitcoin chart, and then we'll come back, OC, and we'll break down why I talk about this. Hey, September, this could happen, and where we want to watch for a bounce at. Jumping in here, let's go and take a look at Bitcoin chart. I want to go over the daily on this, and then we'll go talk about that. Guys, I had a trade set up on this. I put it out to the hackers and in our Discord community here on Monday. And I said, this is the level I'm watching, the 50. I did point out we have a point of control. So really it was a area of entry, the point of control being your first level and then your second level being the 50% fib. This is the trade long that I put in. Guess what? Yeah, we didn't even make it all the way down. And we got front ran on the point of control. It almost hit it to the dot, but a little bit above it. And now we came in, we got a rejection off the value area high right there. Retest to the quantum reactor and the 618 on the golden pocket. What happens after that? We move up and we're now breaking the 786. It was rejection, bounce, retest of the value area high, and then up, right? And now we're hitting that 887 at 121.9, trying to get above this area here for liquidity. And of course, we're going to do that. Might as well look at that all-time high, which is coming in at right at 123,235. So those are the areas to watch right now on Bitcoin, in my opinion. Let's take a look at this daily and see how it's looking here. Looking a little hot. I told you yesterday we were at the 70% line, but we were going flat on this, and watch out. Well, we've broken that flat move and have now made another higher candle. We're not seeing any wicking going on here. We're not seeing any of the Heikin-Ashi levels coming flat, or the wicks that give us indication of flipping over. Right now, we're looking pretty decent on the RSI daily here. Also, money flow still coming up. Volume is coming up. True 7's coming up. Oscillator ribbon's coming up. Histogram is growing. And we do have that signal line starting to broaden out. Right now, daily on Bitcoin, looks like we could be setting up for a new high. So, OC, let's jump over to here. Oh, I see some people in the chat. Hold on. Shout out to DDT. Shout out to Buck. No, it's not, sir. You have seen the pics. I don't even know what you're saying there. Let's see here. We got DDT coming in saying, hola, all lurking. Just caught up from the beginning. Appreciate you being here, DDT. Darren's doing things over there. Piper, non-rainbow person. I am not going to comment on that, Buck. You will not get me out to do that. Duality C, I see you there. Appreciate you joining us here. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat right now. So, all right, OC, let's talk about Bitcoin. Let's do that. Let's go talk about this chart right here. Okay. This is your monthly returns on Bitcoin. And I want to show you guys a little something here. We're going to look at 2013. We're going to look at 2017. We're going to look at 2021. And we're going to look at 2025. Okay. Look here, July and August, 2013, July and August, right there. What is that? Green months, followed by a red September. Let's go to the next 4-year end of the cycle year, 2017. Green July and August, red September. 2021, green July and August, red September. If we end this with July and August being green, we can expect a red September just based on this historical trend. But is there an area that we get a bounce on the charts, guys? There absolutely is. One of them is the daily dynamic reactor. So let's go in here and put that on. I'll show you that first. The daily dynamic reactor. I got to get it. Gotta get. There we go. Grab that Oracle, copy, go over here, paste that on. Now let's go take a look at the daily dynamic reactor because that's going to be one of our key telltales here. Dynamic reactor,
I
put
just
this on the
learned something new.
why that you can copy and paste your indicators over.
Yeah, man. I didn't know
Well,
that.
welcome to
That's
the game. Welcome
fantastic.
to the game. So first of all, we have this here, right? You guys can see the daily dynamic reactor. Let me go in and turn the quantum reactor off so it's not all up in your biz. There you go. The daily dynamic reactor on the weekly chart is amazing, just so you know. You can see it here, comes in, gets a bounce on it, right? Put the daily on your weekly sometime. Put the daily dynamic reactor on your weekly sometime. You'll do some great stuff. But for today, we're going to use, and it's pretty close to it. You can see those little deviations on it. But today, we're going to use the bull market support band with the forecast because I want to show you where it's likely going to be at. There's no forecast on the dynamic reactor. So we'll take a look at this today also. This is the weekly bull market support bands. And let's go back and look at 2013. Let's do that. Remember, we're talking about a July-August pump followed by a September pullback. And let's look here. We're back in 2013 now, way, way back in the machine. You can see here, let's go. This is going to be your July period. So we bottomed out right here July 1st, and we go up July and August. We hit September, and then we come in. What do we test? The bull market support band. Also, again, daily dynamic reactor will be falling in right on top of that. Here also, as soon as it loads, daily dynamic reactor. Can you do that for me? There it goes. It's in there. Taking a second. That is for damn sure. Anyway, just so you guys know, if you have the daily dynamic reactor, you can put it on there also. Going on here though, we have it. So July, August pump, right? And then we go into pullback. This pullback here, by the way, from the top of September's run down to that bottom, that was a 25.3% drop, just so you know. Okay. Let's move in and take a look at the next cycle run. There we go. Let's take a look here. This is the bottom. This is July right here. This is July. We touched it. And then we got July, August, September starts right here. And we go into a red September. July, August pump, September dump. How much was this one? It was about a 38% dump, almost 40% dump. And what does it do? It tests right there, boom, onto the bull market support band. There we go. And now let's go back a little further here, a little further forward, I mean, and let's take a look here, and you will see. Oh, that was why there was the dynamic reactor doesn't turn on until here because we're looking at a daily on weekly, and so it won't go that far back with data. It's a thing. That's why I said we'll go use the bull market support band. So look here at the next cycle, guys. There's July right there, July 19th. Take a look at this. July, August pump. There is the first week of September. Let's look at the pullback on September to the bull market support band. You're looking at a 26% pullback. July, August, pullback in September. Again, July, August, pullback in September. July, August, pullback in September. Okay, right there. So if we talk about that and we look at what this is doing now, this cycle, so far we have a July, August pump. Let's go pull it in here and take a look at it. There's your July right in there. So there's July. We ended green on July. This is all July and August. We're in July and August. We're right here. We have a couple of more weeks. I think we hit a new all-time high. And then, according to what happens on the monthlies, what do? We pull back to the dynamic, to the bull market support band. It would also be what? The daily dynamic reactor, which is also coming in right in that range also, guys. So we have these ways of seeing how far we could pull back, but I want to show you, if we look at this now, let's say we do hit this new all-time high, we're at like 125, okay? Pulling back to that support band is only about an 8.8% move right now. I think we would have to be around 130, 140 in order to get even close. And that would still only be an 18.5% if we're at 140,000 when we do that pullback in September. I don't think we get the 25% pullback in September that we typically have. Um, I also don't think that if we're going to bounce on the bull market support band, I should say, or the dynamic reactor, but I also don't think that we are going to get. I think we're going to be higher when we do that pullback. So if we do get that pullback, it's going to catch it. Now, what happens if we break the bull market support band or break the dynamic reactor on the weekly? Well, then you're looking at a whole different story here. I mean, let's just take this one into account. That was an 18% drop below, held it, was resistant, and then got back in, right? Um, so it's not the end of the story, but it is a much better opportunity for buying. Now, the real picture does come into play when you lose it and retest it after this quarter four of the halving year, of the final halving year, right? The fourth piece. And so if you like take a look here, that's what started into the market after we got the July, August bounce in September, euphoric run, right? Euphoric run back here. Let's see. July, August pump up. There it is. July and August, we go up, we pull back, we bounce, we get our euphoria run. Okay. And then lastly, again here, July, August pump, September pullback, test, euphoria run. What could that look like here? That's remains to be seen, but we're definitely going to be watching in September if we do get a pullback in September, watching these levels at about $109,000, $110,000 to see if we run into the normal cycle of a September red, right, like we normally do. But let's take a look at these quarterly returns of what happened on these years. That last quarter, which would be October, November, December, let's go look at 2021. That was not much left. October 3rd is when we're looking at the end of the cycle, honestly, in my opinion, this year. Of course, 2017, we had a 215% run. 2021, we did not. We had a slowdown that happened November 21st. So December was a red month, taking away a lot of those gains that we saw. So the one thing I want to show you on this is this chart where I'm watching for end of cycle. And as of right now, based on the metrics of bottoming and based on the metrics of time, we only have until about November 3rd, end of October for the end of the cycle. It's running a little bit closer. November 2021 was our top, looking closer now to like November 3rd being our top for the time-based period of the final quarter. So this might be your chance in September, OC, to grab that final bounce before the euphoric run up of Bitcoin. And of course, obviously, if Bitcoin's doing that, you should see some alt movement again, but not the entire alt market. I'm going to go take a look over here. I'm going to go take a look over here at the chat, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Do you have anything on your chart that lines up with that, or you just want to talk about it, about what I just showed?
I mean, absolutely. We have still a couple of targets for reach out to the top. But most importantly, I think you hit another important zone that we've been talking about for a long time, which is the 110 and 100-ish area, right? So they're still not out of the question. They're still not out of the picture. And well, we've been talking about that for a very long time. In fact, we have not only areas of support somewhere around here, but also, I mean, if we go back to just plain classic areas here, let me just get back. There we go. I still have a couple of what is my alerts? This is the 1 hour. Sorry, they don't know what the fuck they're doing, but here is. I still have absolutely. Yes, we still have some trend lines that point at that we could still be hitting that up. But so far, I'm looking at this trend line that we could be forming at the top for resistance. Let me just make it flat with shift. There he is. And well, then for the dump, we're looking at this trend line for the worst case scenario, right? So you're talking about pumping. All right. So how far could we go? Based on what I got in here, right? And I think this is gonna be a little bigger pump that I would be expecting for now for this week per se. we could be reaching all the way around 18, around 140, which will be making it another 15% up. But this is so far some hope. Right? So I smoke two joints in the morning, I smoke two joints at night. I was listening to that song with yeah, I know, with in the chart prep class live, but it's a little bit of a bigger run out that I would be expecting. Maybe we start failing on this. Maybe at the end of the cycle, we could be seeing that we still reach that area. But again, when we have this broadening wedge going to the upside, eventually we tend to fail on those, right? So how far could we be pushing to here before we start rolling over and maybe hitting some other areas like the 1010 for starters, the 108, and finally, like the one, what is it, the 100K, right? So that depends on how the markets plays out. Something that I do have in mind, and let me show you, this is a little bit too much spaghetti. Let me see if I can get rid of a couple of things in here, which, by the way, are I still gonna be my Fibonacci right here. So let's hide it. There we go. Let's lock them first, and let's hide them secondly. There it is. Well, I've been tracking on the previous cycle for a long time. All right, so let's just do a little recap. If for some reason I cannot move the thing around, all right, here it is. And this is, let's go to daily really quickly so I should not be going back and forth. This right here, this little drop, and I'm going to be zooming into a little bit. So looking at this little part in here, going up, coming back down, and coming back up to this arrow, it is exactly what I got in here, right? So just so we keep in mind, this is exactly what I got in here. So zooming into this, and let me just get rid of my oscillator. uh, we can see that almost to the T, having a little bit of an early everything, we've been following on it. So we broke dynamic reactor, we make a little range. As you can see, early breakout in here with that balloon duck, long neck duck pattern. Shout out to Alex on Crypto. But in the last cycle, it took us a little bit longer. All right. So we did have this little range coming back down for a retest, coming back down for a retest, coming back up, hitting some highs, coming back up, hitting some highs, and then coming back down in here, coming back down right there, hitting some lows, finally breaking through, having a range, breaking through, having a range, secondary range, looking for that secondary range, and finally breaking through and bursting the same leg or the same distance that we did in here. So based on how I'm calculating stuff, I think that our target, as you can see my target already being signaled there, it will be somewhere around 127 between 130. Not that far away, but still a little bit shorter from the broadening wedge. So that still tells me that there's one leg up to the upside, right? But still, I think we need to be very, very careful. Another thing that you might be looking at, and I lost this, what is it, alert, is that I'm aiming at the 143, and that 143, it is the target from the broadening wedge. So far, I believe that we still can run up, but I don't know how much fuel we got left. So we'll see. We'll see.
We will have to see. Let's talk about Ethereum for a second, then I'll let you jump over and start talking about some alts. I'm going to jump over to my chart here. Guys, taking a look at Ethereum right now, we are seeing that it is broken this golden pocket beautifully. It was our resistance level. I actually was thinking that we might reject back down for a test of the 168. Didn't happen. Bulls took charge of that thing, brought it up into a consolidation phase here. Everyone started shorting here. This is where everyone started shorting. And OC and I said, I don't think I would short this. You still got a lot of volume starting to come up, money flow coming up. Now True 7's getting up there, and we are seeing a little bit of weakness starting to trigger on the indicators for the Oscillator Pro. But overall, we're at the 786, and this is the level that I talked about that we would hit first, 4,600. And then I said, ultimately, guys, if we get up there and we get support, which we are right now getting support on the 786, then we would be heading to the 887. That 887 coming in at $5,100, and that would be a new all-time high on Ethereum. Take a look at this on the daily and see how it looks. Looking at the daily on Ethereum right now. Well, I can get rid of you. Get out. Goodness gracious. Thank you. Thank you for everyone that's about to type bless you in the chat, because I know you guys. You guys are awesome. Looking at the daily here, we are seeing again, we had a downtrend, power bar triggered over here, and then we ran up after that consolidation period over a couple of days. I do think that looking at the RSI primed, you can see that we are starting to get higher candles on the Heikanashis. We're not getting to this point here yet. And this is what I'll be watching for is when they start to get small and curve. That is typically when we see the pullbacks happen, right? Look over here, starts to get small and curve, went into consolidation at least. But that was a pretty decent pullback here. If you take a look at this, you're talking a pullback there of, let's see, pullback there of about 15% that happened. Ultimately, it did go lower, but that's what I'm watching for in the RSI Prime. So right now, starting to see some cracks, not seeing overall weakness anywhere on the oscillators for confluence. So OC, that's what I'm seeing on Ethereum. Are you seeing anything different on Ethereum, or do you want to jump right on over and start talking about the other alts?
You want me to say what I have in mind?
F ETH, I know.
Hashtag F ETH, man. F ETH. Just like yesterday, still slipping between my fingers, bro. But
It
yeah,
happens.
I
It
mean,
happens.
it happens. Yeah, let's take a look. Let's take a look at Ethereum. I do have it pulled it up, and right now, well, this is
Are
what
you
I'm
one of the
looking
people
into.
trying to short ETH? Dangerous game, bro.
At this
Dangerous
point,
game.
yeah, dangerous. Absolutely, absolutely. I completely understand that. I know. I mean, we were looking into it. I back your analysis completely up. I think the same. I believe that we might still have maybe one retracement that I want to come back up, because look at that. That retracement first TP number one, I will be looking for 4,409, and then right here 4,320. And that is because on our oscillator on the 4 hours, we already have a flip of the ribbon and a possible reversal down in here. I mean, our money flow is just pumping, right? And we already have the bright spot on our True 7. I know that when we have this bright spot on the True 7, while we have the pump of the money flow, it doesn't really mean that we're going to be coming back down. In fact, it only means, in this case, the current setup, that we're going to be just making a little bit of a range before we continue upwards. So I might be inclined to short it right here, somewhere around 4,750. In fact, I'm going to be adding my alert right there. But still, this is going to be a very, very, very small position, looking for maybe a reallocation of money. But as long as I see this going up, I'm not going to be jumping in, and I will try to jump into that short once we start crossing over that zero line. Because right now, the setup indicates that we're going to be ranging up and then making a little retracement and then up in here. So I will be setting up, or I could be setting up for failure on that trade. But still, you know what? It's itching. It's itching. I just need to scratch that short up. But we'll see how that plays out. I'm going to be keeping you guys posted. But again, this is going to be a very, very small position just to start testing the waters. And only when I start seeing those reversals pattern being playing out in here. But yeah, you also were talking about gold. I do have a gold. I was looking for another re-entry here, an FIVP entry in between those areas. Instead, instead of just going down and retesting, it started moving upwards. I was expecting for that move upwards to play out. In fact, you can see it right there, all right? But I was also thinking that because we had this, and let me zoom in here. Let's bring chunky candles in the game. Because we have this indecision candle, I thought that we could be having the chance, to come back down to that zone and, well, have a much better entry. But so far, did not play it out. That is completely fine. So let's get that out of the game or out of the place, so we have a cleaner perspective. And right now, I'm looking for that breakout retest. That retest has been playing out, but we haven't broke through that zero line above. Once I start seeing that, I'm gonna be entering for the next gold run up. But yeah, I'm looking also at gold to be trade. But passing it over to you, Piper, and I already have other couple of algos to look around.
Of course you do. Of course you do. I don't have a whole lot of news today, man. News is pretty quiet on the front, and I'll take it. I'll take quiet news. I am looking at the notifications. Let's go ahead and have you take another run at the. Let's go have you take another run at the some more altcoins. Look at Solana. Look at ADA. Some of these tokens that are moving today. But yeah, we'll come back and see if there's any notifications on X marks the spot. What else you got for us on the alt side? OC, take it away.
Absolutely. So let's get started with my alerts. As you can see, I have 12 alerts already. So it's been a little bit of a busy day or a busy couple of days. Let's go over a couple of those. For example, we already have taken gold. Let's just get rid of it. The next one, it's going to be, oh, come on, Solana. So let's take a look at Solana. Solana, we are in a current trade. We already have taken 50-50, and then the last part is right here. So you might be thinking, all right, and this is a common thing that I get asked. All right, so how can you take 50, 50, and 50 out of 100, right? Because it's not out of 100, it is 50% out of whatever your initial entry was, and then 50% of whatever it was left, and then 50% of whatever it was left. Something important for me, the last movement in here, it is a trailing setup. So far I have hit it off, and my trailing setup has moving upwards. And most likely I will be getting quote unquote stops somewhere around here if we keep coming back down. Just letting you know, guys, because this trade might auto close on me. I'm not gonna be moving that trailing. I'm not gonna be changing it out of place because that trailing, for experience, it's there to protect myself out of a I don't know, unexpected drop or anything like that. So if it hits, and it's hitting on profit. So I have nothing to really complain about, right? Other stuff in here is that we're making this little movement. I was expecting that little movement here, a little bit more out to the right, as you can see here. But let's just get rid of that because we already are into it, right? And what I'm looking, or what I was looking for, it is a round of this money flow to then start looking for a short. So, oh man, you might be starting seeing a little pattern here. Those shorts for me, I started to build up on my head. So we'll see, because things are looking good. I mean, I just don't see a peak performance diamond in here, and I think we can still have it. So let's give it some time. And when I start saying my peak performance diamond right here on my linear regression oscillator, default settings, by the way, I'm gonna be looking for shorting that area. By the way, when you first add your linear regression oscillator, it also gives you breakout structure and many other things on your price action zone. I like them, but they tend to get a little noisy for me. That's why you don't see me use them so often. But yeah, so far re-entries. If we're talking about re-entries here, we need to wait again for a flip of the ribbon. Something that I want to look into. It is a classic shape on the band, so old shape right here. And let's just wait for this because I want to see if that is a goose head. Seems like it could be a goose head. So what does a goose head means? A goose head means a little retracement for then a farther move to the upside and then a bigger retracement. So far, maybe we could be starting to look into a possible reentry. What I'm going to be going for, it is this area of support. Previous resistance becomes new support. I'm going to be adding an alert right down here, and let's bring up why is that a support zone. So for me, there we go. We have, of course, a support, a classical support. We have a VRVP. Let me show you a VRVP smart money entry right there. So let me point it out to you right there. All right. What else do we have in there? And I do remember we had an FIVP, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, the top of the previous range. Oh, perfect. I love this. I was not actually looking at this one, but pretty good to see right there. VRVP, we do have a spike right here. So let's go for that spike in this valley. So the same ballpark of that area. Our ghost trend is not going to be playing out right there because that is creating a larger tangent. We'll see it right here at the ghost, right down to my left. And let's see, where's the FIVP? There we go. This is my FIVP coming back down and pointing at a position on target. We already have hit it off. So after we hit it off, usually we come back down to the next support zone. Let me just minimize some stuffy here. Let's go for my Fibonacci trend. And well, the 382, it is around this same zone. By the way, chart prime and Fibonacci trend, love it when you're lazy about setting your Fibonacci's. Oh, this is a fantastic tool. So I'm looking at this area for a retest. So we could be having that retest zone. Be aware because this could be your reentry for a little bit of another run up. All right, your stop loss is going to be right above this area of resistance here because we don't want to get trapped, something like this, and then well, aiming for a below our previous long or our previous stop. Right now it's 1.76, so that worth a one position. I'm still gonna be looking for, as always, a 1/4 of a position because of the uncertainty on the altcoins that we are right now. So I'm still processing out of a 1/4. That's still, I know it's a little bit hard to see that feeling that, all right, if I was using my full position, I could be making X amount of money. But remember, I think that we are right now walking in quicksand. So let's keep it simple. Let's keep it safe. Let me save this setup for later. There we go. TAO. TAO. I was looking into this growth in here, taking some profits. But and as you can see right here, first taking profits here. This was a little bit of a bigger setup. It was a half of an entry coming back up at this point. I'm gonna be leaving it open. We already are at our stop loss at 0. I think that we could be coming back down. If that is the case, I will still reopen that trade. I already have taken 50% out, and I'm aiming to get somewhere around 432. So your reentry could be right here around this area, right there, if we are able to come back down. If not, look for your oscillator right here, and we could be doing something like that as we have done in the past right there. So that is with TAO. Ton coin. I was about to. Oh, sorry. Are we running out of time?
No, you're good. I just thought you were
There we go.
wrapping it up there.
Oh, perfect. This is going to be the last one. I'm looking for a bounce right down here like this. I think we might be very close to have it. We have a possible reversal. We're flipping back down. We're red, and our true 7 is coming back down. So look for your trend line in here and for your support line right down there for a possible reentry. So let's lock it and let's add a alerting here. There we go for a possible reentry on a movement to the upside. But yeah, that's basically what I got.
Awesome. Shout out to our newest member that joined there a little while ago. I gotta go find his name. It was Georgios. I hope I didn't butcher that, man. But welcome to the alumni. We appreciate having you here. And then also, I just saw Vanessa Pelser come in here and say hi. All hi, Vanessa. How you doing today? All right, OC, you might have a point, maybe. Fear and greed on Ethereum is sitting in extreme greed at 76. So there you go. But we also can go up here and take a look at this thread from CoinDesk. Standard Charters, Jeff Kendrick lifted his ETH target to $7,500 by the end of 2025. $25,000 by 2028. It's a whole lot of hopium there. A whole lot of hopium. Let's go back and look at Bitcoin Hyper's comment. He said, by the way, Hope is not a strategy. You can't. Good point, man. Good point. All right, let's go take a look. I had a comment here. Let me go first look at Bitcoin. What's happening? We're getting a rejection on the 887 right now on the 4 hour. That is $121,951. We did pump up and touch 122,233. Starting to get a pullback. I would watch for 120.8 for a bounce here. Let's go into the lower time frame. You'll see we're coming in on that right now on the 786, guys. That's what I'm watching there. And then also BC asked me, hey, can we take a look at your favorite stock? Sure, let's do that. Because I've been talking about this over in Hackers for a hot minute. We did run up, got a perfect rejection on the point of control here. Oh, not perfect. It went a little bit above it, but it was a rejection of the point of control. Lost the value area high, and now we are heading down. The area where I've been telling people I'm looking to pick up more circle. It's going to be right here in the $122 to the $143 range inside the platinum pocket. Of course, I will start at 143. Why? Because we had a nice support range back in there also. And if we stretch our fixed range volume profile back a little bit further, you'll see that right now we are losing that value area low and coming in. This is going for the entire history. So this would be the range that I would watch. We do have fair value gap sitting here. Right there's one, and right there's one. So those are going to both give that whole block as our entry area, 143 to 123. So there you go. I'm not afraid to show my stock is down. I buy more. I buy more of it. That's fine. I think Circle CRCL is going to do quite well over the time ahead, especially with their new stablecoin launch on ARC as a layer 1 new stablecoin. Circle CRCL. That's my favorite stock, BC. I got you, bro. All right, OC. We are at the top of the hour, bro. Appreciate you being here and giving us that breakdown on the alts. Guys, right now we are, just keep an eye on the Piper plan, man. That's really all you got to do. Just start your dollar cost averaging on the Piper plan. That's what we've been doing since April. It's actually what we've been doing since January. April, we went in really heavy and we just been crushing it. So, yeah. That's what we got for you today. Don't forget to tune in today at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check out OC Guy, Trade Live with OC. And then hopefully tomorrow morning, BC's back. He was supposed to be back this morning. Don't know what happened there, but he decided to pop in on the chat and call me out on my stock. That's cool, bro. Hopefully he's back tomorrow morning with Good Morning Crypto. OC, I know you got to head over to the class. Appreciate you being here. You got anything for the people on the way out?
Not much. Just stay safe out there, guys. I mean, right now, I think we should be a little bit shaky. As you can see, a couple of indicators are showing pump, a couple of other indicators are showing dump or max out. So let's keep it simple. Let's keep it back to basics. And if we need to get out and re-entry, we do just that. I mean, it's not chasing after the prices. Remember, we rather move with cautions that, well, get stranded in the market, right? Other than that,
that's it.
Be cool.
Cool. Thanks, OC. All right, guys, we'll be back tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., bringing you guys the PPI data, taking a look and see what happens with the charts today, and, just navigating this market together right here at the Piper Academy. Appreciate all the alumni that have joined us today. We'll be back here tomorrow, breaking down the news, the charts, the headlines, the macro, everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Until next time, trade safe, use some risk management. Peace, love, profits. Later, guys.
That's the rap. Chart stack data.
We're heading over to Crypto Coin Mindset, guys. When you get over there, drop the graduation caps. Stay tuned. We're heading straight over there.
Signals on time. Alumni strong. We built from the grind. Lessons in the market that'll outlive time. Knowledge is profit. You know how we run. Till the next one, stay sharp. Get it done. We'll see you at the next one.
What the fuck they're doing?
Morning market report out.
Boom shakalaka.
We'll see you at the next one. Morning market report out. We'll see you at the next one. Morning market report. Ow.
It didn't break. What else you got?